So I'll be honest, it has been a absolute whirlwind all week. You know, most of my time spent in the car, eating Amish food now, black jumbo raisins. All right. Just driving all over the place looking at babies. But today, I hadn't got a chance to look at babies yet. I didn't tell anybody this, but I had sent Sanina a message this morning and said, hey, could I come out and look at your babies? She said, I'd love to. She goes, is there any way you can be here in the afternoon? I'm like, yeah. I said, if you're crunched from time, I can come. She goes, no, my aunt died, and I got to go to the funeral. So Sanina is a consummate business professional, and she's like, no, come on out. I'm like, no, I'll come. I'll make a point to come out first thing next week. One way or another, I'll get down there. So I'm not going to be able to get down to Springhaven, and I'll get done a little bit late at the burn. I was rushing around all day. Now, I knew that I needed a PCR test, but it has to be within 72 hours of flying. Now, here in Ohio, it's been no problem all year to get a PCR test. Wake up, go on the CVS website at 9 o'clock in the morning, get in to get your test at 10. So I wake up today, go on the CVS website, no appointments today, no appointments tomorrow, and I mean I checked everywhere between Northfield and Columbus. No appointments anywhere. So now I'm starting to flip out because I'm angry at myself. Again, I could have booked the appointment a week ago for yesterday. I thought about it 10 times in that time span. So now I'm running around figuring out how I'm going to get back into Canada. I know what I'm going to have to do. We sold West 52nd, and he's going back to Canada. So I may have to ship him back to Canada late Friday night to get back home. Whatever. It is what it is. So today I get to the barn. Now I figured all this out in the time of half an hour. I get to the barn, and we have 4 babies to break. Right, the horses from Illinois arrived last night at 11 o'clock. The 3 Illinois colts and the filly, the New York filly, the Devious Man filly. What's this thing telling me to do? Oh, I put in the wrong address. Yeah, you go away now. Go away. And the Devious Man filly arrived last night, so I get up today. We had some horses to train. I'll tell you what, I don't look it into Jazzy Judy, but she trains now like a horse that never has worn hobbles in her life and never would need them. We're going to qualify her next week without hobbles on. It's a sight for sore eyes. She looks incredible. I told everybody, we trained Jazzy Judy last week at Northfield Park by herself virtually. Faster, 2 seconds faster than she's ever been in her entire life. 58 flat off a half and 1-1 at Northfield. No hobbles, no nothing. She was incredibly good. So I trained her today. I only went a slow mile, maybe 20 today. Jason's going to go back with her on Friday or Saturday probably. Obviously, I'm not going to be here. But she's been lights out good. So good. I can't wait to qualify her next week. And then, who else? I galloped Stonebridge Dolce because she can be such a hog to train by herself. She just doesn't pay attention, wanders, tries to pull up. She just does stupid stuff when she's by herself. So I just galloped her today, a brisk mile, just to stretch her out a little bit and give her a workout. And then we'd switch gears. You know, many of you that have followed us know that we had a little bit of an issue with Path of Totality. Path of Totality bled her last start, and you know we're trying to give her at least 10 days or more in between, dry her up, treat her up as best we can, treat it as if it was some sort of virus, and she seemed good today. Now she does get a little stressed training on the trot, so I galloped her also. I galloped her hard today too, and she never bled at all. We scoped her after, she was great. So I think from now on we have at least a way to keep her tight without stressing her out. That may or may not make sense to you, but you know, a horse's natural gait is the gallop, obviously, right? And when you let their head down, you know, a horse like Path of Totality touches her knees, touches herself behind, you know, she wears trotting hobbles. You can train her without, but she gets a little warm and a little anxious when you train her. But, you know, you take that head check and off, let her head down, take the boots off her and just let her run. And she was much more comfortable today. I wasn't surprised that she didn't bleed. Not shocking at all. She was very, very good today. So I was happy. So now we're running out of time. I know that I can't go to Spring Haven today. There's no point rushing down there to blow through a burn as quick as you can. You need to take your time when you're doing stuff like this. You just can't rip horses in and out, look at them quick. What's the point? You're going to make a mistake. You're going to miss something. And I want to enjoy myself too. I enjoy going to look at the babies, and it's a little tedious at times, but I enjoy going to look at the horses and visiting the farms also. So I want to make sure I have time to do that. So I took an overnight bag. I don't know whether I'm going to stay in Columbus tonight and go to maybe Midland Acres tomorrow. No guarantees. I'm really going to make it up on the fly. I could easily go next week also. I am going to be coming back home. I'm going to be coming back to Ohio first of next week. So I can do it then. It's not the end of the world. I did want to get the babies broke today though. So not going to Spring Haven. I decided I wasn't going to look at the babies today. So it gave me a little more time, a little more breathing room. I went and Joey Cramp, who helps us ride. He's a super patient guy and really, really good guy with the babies. And, babies are a tricky thing. Lauren's 90 pounds soaking wet. She could get hurt easily with the babies, and she'd rather work. She's a great caretaker, and she'd rather work with the racehorses. Jason has feet that I'm certain are made of glass now. I've seen him break his foot like 4 times, I think. Maybe an exaggeration, but him and Kirby don't really want to get thrown around by babies. Babies are more my thing, and Joey seems to really like them too. So I'd asked Joey to help me with the babies. Just threw the harness on them, and it was a little, our process is pretty quick anyway, getting them on the track, but it was even expedited for us today. It's pavement all around the berm, so I would rather walk the babies up to the track and not have them, because they could act up, throw themselves, fall down to the pavement, skin themselves up. I don't want that. So we've been walking them up to the track and hooking them on the track. Well, today, there was just Joey and I, and it was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Walked them out in the pavement. They all seemed like they had a pretty good head on the shoulders, so we did snap them in and walk them up. They were all perfect. We get videos for you guys. Man, oh man. And you need to understand, I say this a lot, but only because you have to be there to understand it. For horsemen out there, they're doing work on the track. There was a water truck on the track. There was a drag on the track. And they're doing work on the inside also, and the light standards. There was a backhoe, a dump truck, and a bobcat. All of this on the inside and on a half-mile track while I'm going with the babies. Not one of them even so much as left the ground. They never so much as acted up once. By the trucks, by the tractors, by the backhoe, by everything, and behaved perfectly. And day one you get a lot of them that good, and then day two it's like, ooh, buckle up. But these guys just seem like they got their head on straight. It was really incredible. Very happy with all 4 of them. As I said, we made videos of them. You guys will be able to see them. Now, as I'm making this video, I'm watching the time tick away, 8 minutes and 40 seconds and counting, and realize that I don't have any Wi-Fi. I burned through 42 gigabytes of data now, and it's only the 8th of the month. Now, my billing starts on the 23rd, so I'm halfway through my billing cycle, and I burned through 42 gigabytes of data. I can't post this video until I get on Wi-Fi, either back at my house tonight if I go home, at the hotel if I stay in Columbus, or somewhere that has Wi-Fi. I've noticed this day and age now these days, I used to go to Starbucks and sit down and use the Wi-Fi, or go to a restaurant, but the Wi-Fi, I don't know what they do to it, but it sucks, so you can't load anything. So I really have to either go to the hotel or go to the house. Either way, I'm on my way to Columbus. We have 4 in tonight. Jason has now just told me I have a catch drive from someone at some point on the race card. I don't know who it is, but I know that Simba drew the trailing post, which may not be bad for him. And then the fillies seem to all train good this week and are coming in pretty good. So it's the end of the year. Obviously, the good, it was just about as bittersweet as it gets, finding out what exactly went on with Slim Jimmy and getting to the bottom of that yesterday. 2 very bad which could have been extremely bad, absolutely season-ending wall separations, especially considering there's only one stake left. If they had have blown out, if they had festered a little more and blown out and caused damage, that would have been it for the season, and it would have been a problem. That would have been very painful for him. So very fortunate that we had somebody come in, Tim Betts, come in and actually found them and was able to deal with them. I had a lengthy conversation with a number of you, my partner's clients, with Slim Jimmy, just to try to articulate what happened exactly. The reason that the original blacksmith didn't find them was because Slim Jimmy carries just enough toe to stay out of his elbows, but enough that he has enough foot to land on, enough that he carries a little bit of weight and a little bit of toe. He likes his toe to be between 3 5/8 and 3 7/8 up front, and around 49, 50 degrees. Those foot separations were in there for a while. And I had to explain this to everybody, as somebody that knows it and sees the varying degrees of quarter cracks and sand cracks and foot separations, wall separations. It's hard to explain to somebody exactly what you're looking at, what is there, what could have taken place, and what now will not. And it makes total sense to me now that Slim Jimmy looked good during that training mile in 2:18, 2:20, but just couldn't function with a quarter of 28 seconds or 29 thrown at him, and that's why. He could take the torque at one speed, but not at the other, at a much quicker speed. So it was good to get to the bottom of it. Obviously, that was sweet, and just about the most bitter feeling on earth, thinking to myself, why didn't we look there to begin with? It just didn't dawn on me. It didn't seem like that was there. So, a thank you again to Tim Betts for finding it. And from what we see now, it's more than likely Slim Jimmy will be more than able to race, and he was some happy today, more than able to race in the Ohio Breeders' Championship on Jug Week. So, as I said, just about the most bittersweet feeling you're going to feel in horse racing was what I felt yesterday. But at the same time, we preach it all the time, and this ties into the yearling sales. It doesn't matter what you buy, who you buy, what it is, what it isn't, because it's all about timing. Yes, pedigree matters. Yes, speed is very, very important, and it's important to give yourself a head start with buying, quality horses, quality pedigree. But so much ties down and ties into the timing of a racehorse. Think about it. I said this yesterday, and I'll outline it again. You buy the horse, you break it, you train it down. You need that horse to stay as healthy and as sound as it can for you to get the proper amount of training into it. At that point, let's assume that the horse stays sound and healthy, which they never do. There's always hiccups, there's always bumps and hurdles. Let's assume that horse trains down to the races. Now you get into the races. Now you're dealing with high speed. The horse, again, has to stay healthy and sound at that speed. Then you have to have a good group to race against. If the horses are just faster than you, that sucks. Now you're getting into the realm of bad luck and good luck. So now you have to draw in to a favorable field, get a good position, have your horse sound, have your horse healthy, and then get a good drive. Because that's what wins you races. So when you think about it, everybody's toiling over, I need this pedigree, and I need number 52, and number 61, and number 74. Just give me good-looking horses, a little bit of luck, and let's see what we can do on the racetrack. And that's really where my standpoint, that's why I think value is so important, because there are so many intangibles. There are so many things and variables that you have no control over that really go into whether you're going to be okay or not in a race, whether you're going to do good on race night. It really doesn't matter if you buy the best horse in the world, because you may never know he is or she is. So, keep that in mind, for those of you who are talking about the partnerships that may or may not be coming in Ontario and Lexington and for Harrisburg. And the same question is, I like to pick my own. Okay, well, that's good. I know you can't pick a winner because I can't. Nobody out there can say, I know. You can think that, but you can't. No one knows. So I think it's important as we talk about what just took place with Slim Jimmy to understand where Slim Jimmy came from. Not any of you out there, all of you that say I'd like to pick my own, and I know, or I might know, and this one's good and that one's good. All of you people are the same ones that didn't buy a share in Mischievous Rose, that didn't buy a share in Slim Jimmy, that maybe sold your shares in Sweet on Pete. You don't know. No one knows. And that's the beauty of horse racing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I believe this state I'm driving through right now, the state we do the vast majority of our racing in, is one of the last places you can buy anything, and it can really become anything. Slim Jimmy proved it, and although he had bad luck on Super Final night, I think we can all agree he's one of the best colts in Ohio, and looks like he has a very bright future in front of him. Sweet on Pete, same thing. The 3 fillies that were racing tonight, the Buckeyes, all 3 of them, I believe, or 2 of them anyway, have raced in the Sire Stakes. It could have been in the same position as Sweet on Pete had we kept going, but I wanted to opt for a safer path forward for all 3 of them. So, again, I somehow turned a short note into a 16-minute video, but at the same time, I thought it was important to tell you about what went on in the barn today, what's going on in the future, what our plans are, and as I said, I appreciate all the nice notes and all the sympathetic notes. I'm a big boy, I get thick skin, I'll move on, but now is the time to continue to focus on the racetrack today. We have 4 tonight in Scioto, we have 3 racing at Grand River. It is also the time to focus on the sales that are coming up and how we're going to be active at them, what that's going to look like. I think I'll do another video now that I still have 2 hours to talking about what we'd like to do in Ontario, what we'd like to do for Lexington and Harrisburg. So I will talk to all of you very soon. By the time you watch this, we've already raced. I'll probably have 2 videos before the races and after the races. But I wish you all good luck tonight. All 7 groups at 2 different racetracks in 2 different countries. Take care.